we're going to be making banana bread. And this I've experimented with for years and years and years. And I found the easiest way to do it. You're going to be so surprised. This is what you're going to need. 3 bananas that are all turning brown like that. If they're a little more brown or a little less brown, that's okay. Just to the point where they're like, ew, I don't want to pick it up. That's where you want it. And you're going to grease a large bread pan. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Get 1 stick of butter that is room temperature. Or you can put it in the microwave for 10 seconds like I do. You're going to need 2 eggs, flour, sugar, salt, baking soda, vanilla, and the peanuts are optional. Alright, so here's what you do. You put your butter into a medium-sized mixing bowl. And then we're going to add the sugar, which is 1 cup. Just like that. It could be a touch more if you like it sweet. And we're going to make it just a little sweeter than we usually do this time. And then you're going to add your eggs. Just 1 at a time here. Just like that. Now we're going to just give that a quick mix. And just use a large fork for mushing that butter in. And it doesn't have to be all the way mushed up. We just want to get all the sugar moistened right here. Just keep stirring it around until all that sugar is moistened. Not have to be broke up. Just press down with your fork on that butter and get it somewhat mixed up just like that. And now we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And now we're going to add 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt. If I can get it open. There we go. And let's see if I can do this with one hand here. Well, that's a little short, so we'll give it just a little more. Perfect. And then you're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. 1 and 2. Alright, and then now we're going to add the bananas. Okay, and we're just going to open them and put them in there whole. Alright, after you get those bananas in there, you're just going to use your fork to press down on those. And don't worry if they seem really chunky, because as soon as the sugar starts getting to that fruit, it starts making it less firm as you mush it in here. Okay, so and then at this point we're going to give this a really good mixing, breaking it up with our fork as we stir it around. And you don't want to over mix this, you just want to do it by hand and not use your mixer. And this is what it should look like when you get it all mixed up. It's still got a lot of chunks to it. That's exactly perfect. Oops. Alright, and now for the last ingredient, we're going to add the flour. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be perfect. A little less is better than a little more sometimes, though, so it just doesn't turn out so dense. Just like that. And if you want to measure it out all really nice and evenly, it's 1.5 cups of flour. 2 of mine were a little short, so yes, that third one was just a touch more to make up for it. Then you're going to switch to a spatula that you can use to scrape that into your pan. Just mix that up really good. And then when this is thoroughly combined, I'll show you how to add some peanuts. You don't have to pay $3 for a small little package of peanuts when you got one of these. Make sure you're doing this on a cutting board so you don't crack your countertops. And start out on this side here. And then when that side's all crunched, you flip it over the other side. And you just do this until they're in small enough pieces, or as small as you want them. Ooh, it also makes really good sundae topping. Okay, that's about good right there. Now we're going to add this to our mixture over here and give it a stir. Okay, and then you're just going to mix those peanuts into the mixture really well and pour it into your... Make sure that you grease this with butter or peanut oil before you put the batter into it. And we're going to bake it for 1 hour at 350 degrees. After you pour it into your baking dish, you just want to give it a slight swish back and forth to level it out. All right, now we're going to bake that for 350 degrees for 1 hour.
This smells so good, guys.
All right, so after you've let it cool down for at least 30 minutes, because you want it to sweat a little bit in the pan before you try to take it out, and you're just going to take a spatula and then put it down on the sides like that, and then you want to give it a little bit of a push toward the center when you get it all the way down to the bottom. And then after you get this out, you're going to want to cool it down on a wire rack or maybe a cutting board. Okay, that looks like it'll be it. Maybe one more little shove from down here and then just shove it inward like that. Maybe a little bit more from here. Okay, and then you're just going to grab it, and it's still really hot even after a half hour. Darn, darn, darn. And you just dump it out. And we're just going to leave it right there to cool off. Yum, yum, yum. Look at it. So yummy. And that's what it looks like when it's done. You're going to want to let this cool before you try to cut into it. You'll just smush it. You want to have a nice serrated edge would even work to cut your bread apart, and just go really, really slow and just saw it back and forth if you're cutting it while it's warm. You can store this in the fridge overnight, and the next day it will cut so much easier, and everybody can have it for breakfast or snacks. We're having some now.
Yeah.
Hey.
We'll see you guys later.
All right.
Bye.
See you next time.
It tastes delicious. Guys, it's good.
Is it good warm? Yeah? Do you like it warm or cold? Does it melt in your mouth? Let me have some. All right, we'll see you next time.